What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Late night edition. We're going to be talking about a new method that I personally haven't seen really explained or spoken about on the internet to remove collections. This is something that I personally use to get collections deleted. Is also one of the fastest ways that I've seen collections deleted. Um, Using this very same method for myself and clients, I've seen collections get deleted as quickly as 3 days. 3 days. So I'm going to go through it, give you a little bit of background, and share with you what this new method entails. And you do not have to dispute with the credit bureaus to use this method. You're not going to be speaking to the credit bureaus at all. Okay. So with this particular method, we're going to be going directly to the collection agencies. All right. So let's get into it. A little bit of background about this particular method, right? One of the key things when we're dealing with collections and collection agency is that they like to call you and just communicate with you a lot because their job is to basically get you to pay them, right? Whether they legally own the debt, whether it's validated or not, they're not really worried about that. Their job is to get as much money from you as possible, and they do that with general harassment, calling you when you don't want to be spoken to, you know, reaching out to you via email, text message, social media sometimes, phone calls, right, through the mail. All of these are different forms of communication. What most people don't know, like most of the general population don't know, is that they don't, if you tell them not to contact you or communicate with you in any way, shape, or form, they have to stop communicating with you, right? If they text you and you respond back, I want to validate this debt, right? Don't contact me anymore. They have to stop contacting you. If they emailed you, same thing. If they call you, same thing, right? But what happens is that there's a piece of that we may skip. Even though they may not be communicating with you, it may still be sitting on your credit report. So, how do we address that? Well, there's actually some case law that we use in the letter that actually says that reporting to the credit agencies, right, TransUnion, Equifax, Experian, is in fact considered a form of communication and it's a form of debt collection activity. Okay, so that law actually is called is so anybody can look this up. All right, it is EDA versus Midland Credit Management. So EDA is spelled E as in Echo, D as in Delta, E as in Echo, H as in Henry, versus Midland Credit Management. That's one case you can look up. Another case you can look up is Salus, which is spelled Sayles, versus Advanced Recovery Systems. In both of these cases, two separate cases, the courts recognize that furnishing information to the credit reporting agencies, that's TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, after receiving a cease and desist letter constitutes an act of debt collection under 15 USC 1692 CC, and therefore it's unlawful. So what does this mean? This means instead of disputing with the credit reporting agencies, which you can absolutely still do, that method still works. But this is another method which I have found to be even faster because let's remember the credit reporting agencies can still take 30 to 45 days, right? They can still just tell you that the account has been verified. They can still do that. I've had that happen. You send out a dispute letter, they say it's been verified. Another reason I actually discovered this method is working with clients who are in real estate or they're trying to buy a house. One of my clients actually was literally 7 days from closing. I was trying to remember. They were 7 days from closing on a new property. They're a real estate investor. This collection just pops up. If you ever gone for a house or refinance or HELOC or HELOAN, you this has happened to you. I know it has. I know it has. It happened to me. A collection agent will see that you're trying to close on a house and they will just randomly just throw a collection on your credit report. You don't know where it came from, who this company is, or even how old this debt is, right? And it just pops up on your credit report because you're going through the home buying process. And the collection agency knows that, okay, this person is trying to buy a house. Since they're trying to buy a house, we got them in a chokehold. We're just going to throw this collection on their credit report. The lender or the lender or their realtor is just going to tell them to just pay it to get rid of it. And it's a quick bag for us. That's literally the collections play. That's what they do. They do that to everybody that's going through anything with their house. So, knowing this, I'm like, okay, here's why this is a problem and why you don't want to dispute with the credit reporting agencies if you're trying to close on a house. When you're going when you're going for closing and you're trying to close on this thing, the lenders, the underwriters, they don't want to see any of the accounts in an open active dispute on your credit report. I've literally had clients call me and say, "Hey, Jamal, we have to stop the dispute process so we can close on the house." The credit had reached a certain point where they were approved, and now it's time to get to closing. They said nothing can be in dispute during the closing process. So what that means that then you got to go back, or I would have to go back and send a letter to the credit reporting agencies to say, hey, stop and cease all dispute activity. I mean, not, yeah, all disputes, and remove any remarks from the credit report saying that these accounts are in dispute. So I had to think with this client who was going to close on a house within 7 days. I'm like, damn, well, I can't dispute with the credit reporting agencies because one is going to take 30 days, is not going to get done fast enough. And two, none of the accounts can be marked as disputed on the credit report. So, what's the next thing we could do? The next thing we can do is dispute with the furnisher directly. Remember, when you are in the process of removing uh, inaccurate, incomplete, untimely, right, unverified, invalidated information from your credit report, negative remarks from your credit report, there's always two ways to dispute. You can dispute with the credit reporting agency, or you can go straight to the source. You can dispute directly with the company that's sending information to the credit reporting agencies. So in this case, I decided to dispute directly with the collection agency itself. And lo and behold, what happened? This was the fastest results I've ever seen. I ain't never seen no results this fast. I thought it was a fluke. So then I did it again. Same thing. Got it. The collection was removed within a week. No FTC report, Um, yeah, didn't have to do any FTCs, no affidavits, didn't have to notarize anything, don't have to wait 30 to 45 days, don't have to send anything to the credit bureau. Everything was just one letter directly to the collection agency. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do now is actually share with you the exact letter that I sent. Now I'm sharing this to Facebook and YouTube. I'll probably put a link to the letter somewhere on my YouTube page once this live is loaded up. All right. So if you're looking for it, you're watching a replay, it will become available once the live actually loads after, like, not editing, but leaving show notes and all that good stuff. All right, so let me go ahead and share my page. Let's see. Boom. All right. So the method, all right, this is the cease and desist method. This letter is going to go directly to the collection agency. It does not go to TransUnion, Equifax, or Experian, right? So the major collection agencies, think of Jefferson Capital, ARS, Midland, Portfolio, LVNV, right? Those are some very common collection agencies that you're going to see. This letter you send directly to them. So I'll tell you a little bit about it or read a little bit of it, right? So it says subject, notice to cease contact. You're going to include the case number. To who it may concern. This letter is being sent because I just found out you've reported a debt to my credit report that I do not owe. I am shocked and extremely upset. I never gave you permission to report anything about me, and I never agreed to this debt in the first place. We talk about what you're doing is wrong. Under Regulation F, which became effective November 30th, 2021, you're required to contact me before putting anything on my credit, but you didn't. This is a clear violation of 12 CFR 1006.30A. Now, 12 CFR 1006 is the commercial, what is it called? Um, Commercial Federal Regulation. I gotta remember. Uh, which is basically another. It's another statute that you can use with the United States Code or USC. So 12 CFR 1006.30 corresponds to the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, which is 15 USC 1692, right? They're brother and sister. Okay. Next is I'm demanding that you immediately stop reporting this debt and remove it from all credit bureaus because I never agreed to it. You have no written permission, which violates 15 USC 1681B. This is a serious violation of my privacy. What you've done borders identity theft under 18 USC 1028A. I'm telling you now, I refuse to pay this debt under 15 USC 1692 CC. So in this letter, we're combining multiple things. We're combining one, the fact that they didn't have our written permission to put it on our credit. Two, we're highlighting the fact that they did not follow Regulation F, which requires them to actually send us communication prior to putting it on our credit report. That communication is also called a dunning letter. Is also We're also highlighting the fact that because they did this without our permission, it can borderline be considered identity theft because now they're using our social security number to gain access to our finances, right? Also, we're in this third paragraph, we're doing we're making it plain and simple, stating that we're doing a refusal to pay. Under 15 USC 1692 CC, this means you must stop all communication with me. Okay. Then we also get into 15 USC 1681S, which gets into furnishers' requirement and duty to make sure they are reporting all information accurately. So that's 1681S 2A1A. Then in the highlighted area, you're going to put the name of the collection agency and their number. And then at the bottom, this is where I included those two case laws, right? ETA versus Midland Credit Management Inc. and Salis versus Advanced Recovery Systems. The courts have recognized that furnishing information to credit reporting agencies after receiving a cease and desist demand constitutes an act of debt collection under 15 USC 1692 CC and therefore is unlawful. Your continued reporting of this alleged debt constitutes a violation of my rights under the FDCPA. Right? And then just to make it sound human, fix this, delete this, leave me alone, and you're going to put in your name. Now, when you fill this out, a couple of things. This is for, you're going to do this letter for each individual collection agency. Okay, so if you have 5 collections and it's from Jefferson Capital, Midland Funding, LVNV, Portfolio Recovery, ARS, each collection agency, each collection company is going to get their own letter with their own account. You don't want to put all 5, you don't want to put 5 different collection agency on one letter because you're sending this letter and addressing it to that specific agency. Okay. Now, how do you submit this? You can submit it through the mail. Oh yeah, of course you want to, update all of this with your info. Let me actually put a highlight on there. Boom. Right. So you're going to update all this stuff. Now, how are you going to send it? You can definitely send it to the mail. You could fax it to them. Me personally, I like to send it through the CFPB. Let me get some water real quick. I'm going to send it through the CFPB. Because I'm a snitch. I'm a snitch. They're telling all our business, sharing it. I'm a snitch on them the same way that they snitch on us. So what I do is you're going to create an account with the CFPB. It's very simple. You just go to consumerfinance.gov. Let me show you what that looks like. Consumerfinance.gov. Can you guys see my other screen? You can't see my other screen. Let me switch it up. All right. So when you first go to CFPB, consumerfinance.gov, yes, the CFPB has been open this entire time. It never closed. You just scroll down to where it says ready to begin. You'll click the button that says start a new complaint, and it's going to have you set up an account. You just set up your account and then you log in. All right. Now, once you log in, you're going to automatically be sent to the submit a complaint page. Here, you're going to choose debt collection. You're going to scroll down, click I don't know, because I don't know. I don't know what this is. I mean, is Midland Recovery? Is LVNV? I don't know what this debt is. This debt could be from 2, 3 years ago, could be from 8 years ago. We have no idea. Click next. You do then you're going to choose the reason for the dispute. You got communication tactics. Maybe they called you too late. You got electronic communications, attempt to collect the debt not owed, written notification about debt, right? You have all of these different reasons. For this, we're just going to use false statements or representation. We're going to scroll down. We're going to say attempted to collect wrong amount because we don't know if the amount is accurate. We have no idea. It's a collection. This isn't the company that we originally did business with. So we do not know. Have you already tried to fix this problem with the company? Yes. And you click next. Here. Now you could, do a long explanation or whatever. I just say see attached because I already wrote the letter, right? The letter is saved as a Word doc or a PDF. So what I do, I just put see attached. In the second box, what would be a fair resolution? I put cease and desist all collection activity, including reporting to the credit bureaus, agencies. I don't really like calling them bureaus because they're not. So I'll also put agency. Then the next thing you're going to do, you're going to attach your files, right? So that can be whatever. Okay, so you're going to select your files, right? When it's time to attach your file, you're going to attach the letter and your photo ID. That's it. You don't need to include anything else. You're going to click next. Then collection company that contacted you, you're going to type in the collection company's name. If it's LVNV, you're going to type in LVNV, choose one of the options. If it's Midland, same thing, right? Whatever the name of that collection agency is. You would get the name of the collection agency either from the letter that they sent you in the mail, or you can grab it directly from your credit report, right? Portfolio, let's see, portfolio recovery, port. There we go. Portfolio recovery. You don't need to put this, you don't need to worry about that because this information is also on the letter that you took the time to write. Is this do you know if this information or this debt is from a different company? No, I have no idea. I don't know what's going on. That's why I'm filing the complaint. Okay. Then you'll choose the rest of this is pretty self-explanatory. Who are you filing this for? You're filing it for yourself. And then you just continue on with the review process. It's going to ask you to input your information and all of that. That stuff is pretty straightforward. You don't need me to walk you through, and you know your name, you know your address, you know that what you're typing is true and accurate, and then you'll click submit. Once you click submit, you're done. You'll be able to go back into the CFPB portal. It'll email you when there's an update. You'll also, if you're tapped into all of the credit monitoring softwares, Experian, Credit Karma, Credit Sesame, IDIQ, all of those, MyScore IQ, if the collection agency, or not if, when the collection agency deletes or updates your profile, you'll get the emails from there. You'll also get an email from the CFPB when the company responds to you. Now, the CFPB typically gives them about 30 days to respond to you. They typically give you about 30 days to respond to you, but the collection agencies respond a lot faster. Like I said, generally speaking, from my experience, the absolute fastest I've seen is 3 business days. Like, submitted it on Wednesday, by Thursday, it was gone, wiped out, and updated on their credit reports that it was wiped out, which is really important because that means it's really deleted. Okay. So this is a method that I really like. It's quick, it's fast. You don't have to send out a lot, you don't have to do a lot of back and forth with it. And it's a great alternative to disputing with the credit bureaus. So if you already tried disputing and deleting collections by disputing with the credit bureaus and you just keep getting verified, try this method out. You'll probably see quicker, faster results. And let me know how your experience goes. My name is Jamal, the Credit Protector. I help small business owners get access to capital. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.